I love that you talk about wholeness and remembering our wholeness. How
Mhm.
can our listeners really reconnect with that truth in a world that often pulls us away from ourselves?
Yeah, that in and of itself is a journey. Because we believe we're broken, we believe there's something wrong, we believe there's something missing. And the truth
And
is,
we've
we are
been, people have been told that their whole lives from different,
exactly,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, from different communities. And
right.
part of that is so that we can be controlled.
Hmm. Hmm.
But we are whole. We were born whole. We were born perfect. And that's part of the remembering, right? Is to
Yeah.
remember that I am a soul having this human experience. I am powerful. We are each very, very powerful. And it's taking the time to remember that. And that's where the journaling comes in, and that's where meditation comes in, mantras and chanting comes in, so that you can have this resonance within and the knowing, and then you can walk in the world in that power rather than believing in the lie that we've been told.
Hello, my extraordinary women friends. Today, I am so honored to bring you a conversation that feels like a deep breath and a homecoming. Barb Brown is a spiritual guide, creative depth coach, and storyteller whose life's work centers on helping others reconnect with their soul's work. She's lived many chapters, 20 years in city government, another 2 decades as a psychotherapist, and now, in this next evolution of her life and work, she's devoted to guiding others into deeper presence, wholeness, and soulful living. Barb is a dear friend and a beloved member of my mastermind community. I witnessed her birth, her Spirit Quest membership, a beautiful offering that invites you to live life as a sacred practice. Her journey is rich with grace and grit, marked by loss, trauma, and profound healing, and she brings such wisdom to the conversation around how we return to ourselves after the hardest seasons. In this episode, we explore what it means to live your life as a spirit quest, the healing power of creativity and soul remembering, how to begin again at any age with deeper purpose and peace, and the real definition of success, not doing more, but becoming more whole. If you are craving more meaning, more connection, and more trust in your rhythm of becoming, this episode is for you. Let's dive in and meet Barb Brown.
Well, welcome to Extraordinary Women Radio, Barb. I'm thrilled to have you with me here today.
Thanks, Cami. I'm really excited to be here as well.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to this conversation. I love what you're building right now, and I feel like there's some really important things that you're doing in the world that our world needs the work that you're putting out there. So let's start with a bit of, you blend together spirituality, creativity, and psychology in your work. So tell us a little bit about how these threads all come together and what you've learned about healing when the soul leads the way. Big question.
Big question, long question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a background as a psychotherapist, probably always have part of my hat is be a psychotherapist.
Hmm.
And the pillars that I work from are remember, heal, and live. Remember who we are. We're spiritual beings having that human experience. And heal what gets in the way, because so much can,
Hmm.
in order to live that life of purpose and joy. And along the way, I was introduced to a couple of processes, therapeutic art processes called soul collage first, and then journey circles. And when my friend was talking about soul collage, I felt this resonance. It was like my whole soul just vibrated when she said the word. I had no idea what it was.
Hmm.
And I finally said, "Stop. You have to tell me more about soul collage." And she's like, "I have to show you." And then through this same person, a few years later, I learned about journey circles. And so now I'm a creative depth coach using journey circles and soul collage. And what it is you bring art, images from magazines together, you tear them up, you cut them up, and you put them on rounds or cards and basically create your own oracle deck.
Yeah.
And it's yours because you intuitively create this piece of art. And on any given day, it means something different. So on the day that you made it, it may mean, I'm missing my children today. And on another day, it may mean I want to birth something new this week.
Right.
It just depends. So using that art process helps us come to a different knowing about ourselves.
Yeah.
So, we could talk about what it is that we feel. We can talk about our journey. And there is definitely a place for talk therapy, right? To talk about what our journey has looked like and what our journey has felt like. But if we don't get out of the head, we have a hard time processing that. We kind of get
Yeah.
stuck sometimes in the story. Using the art helps us get it out of our head and more into a different format so that it means something completely different. Then we can process it, let it go, and experience a new way of life moving forward.
I think that's fascinating because, I wrote my Pony Ponderings inspiration deck. And that was exactly, I took a piece of art and what was there for me, and I would write off of it.
Yeah.
And, so I think that it's definitely a great way to bring whatever's inside. And I can go back and read those now and say, I don't even remember writing that. I mean, that's amazing that came from me, but it felt very much more, I can read them now and go, they feel much more channeled.
Channeled
Not
message.
at the time, I didn't think
Yeah.
that. But when I
Yeah.
go back and read them now, it's like, who wrote this, right? So I
Yeah.
think like we tap into a deeper space. So you've got all these different tools that you've developed over the years. You've had a life journey that's brought you through lots of growth and evolution. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we all have that life journey,
Oh yeah, we
right?
all have our life journey.
And those pivot points where it's
Hmm.
like I am going in a completely different trajectory now.
Hmm. Hmm.
I call them my cosmic two by fours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I grew up with kind of a chaotic life. I think a lot of us can say that we did. My mom drank till I was 10. My dad did his best, but he was a narcissist and he had a temper.
Hmm.
Two older sisters, they were 11 and 13 years older than I was. And so we were close, but not close like that. They were
Hmm.
more, I, looked up to them. They led the way, and that they taught me how I didn't want to do things because I saw them make their mistakes. I was like, I don't want to do that. But when I was 21, my middle sister Judy took her own life. Life
Hmm.
had just become really, really hard for her. She was 32 and had a 4-year-old son, and it was really, really hard. I wasn't raised any religion. My family wasn't religious. They didn't have a belief. So it really rocked our world. Like, what happened to her? And how did she get to that place? Because in a chaotic family, in a dysfunctional family, you really don't talk about that dysfunction. You don't talk about what's happening behind the
Hmm.
closed doors.
Hmm.
But it led the family into therapy. So as a family, we marched into the therapist's office and we went a few times. My family decided that's all they needed. And there was a light bulb moment for me. It's like, I love this process. And it launched my healing journey. And so I didn't have to travel the road that my sisters traveled.
Right.
I got to choose a different path because I started, my healing process. And then years later, then I became a psychotherapist myself.
Yeah.
So it led into my own healing, but then also, a career in psychotherapy that I don't know that I would have gone into without that.
Yeah. And I've heard you also talk about other modalities that you brought in around you that really helped you on your
Yeah.
journey as well.
Right, right, exactly. I am a lifelong learner. And so along the way, and I believe that spirit leads us in
Yeah, totally.
directions that we need and introduces us to the people that we need. So another cosmic two by four was in 2003, Halloween night. It's icy. We had gone to Loveland for the day or the evening. We were driving home and the roads were icy and a car came up behind us. He lost control, hit us from the side, which sent us into a spin. And we rolled several times on the highway on I-25. And I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of my life. And I said, oh God, please don't let this be it. And we slid, we rolled, we slid. And then it was quiet, it was dark, and the truck righted itself. And I came down with PTSD, again, leading me back into therapy. But I knew that my life from there had changed directories or
Hmm.
trajectory.
Right.
And I was introduced to a new therapist who then introduced me to all these modalities. So, essential oils, somatic therapy, and EMDR, which then I became an EMDR therapist. But then I love essential oils, using them in my practice. But also then astrology. She introduced me to the first astrologer I ever saw, and who became my spiritual mentor. Introduced me to this whole huge world. Without the accident, I'm not quite sure, again, where I would be, right?
Right.
It changed how I see the world, how I walk in the world, and how I
Mhm.
want to work with people as
Yeah.
well.
Was that where the spiritual side really came in? Was at
It
that
is.
point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I've always been spiritual, but I didn't know what to call it. You know,
yeah.
when I talk to people about spirituality, they say, "Oh, well, I'm not religious." It's like, no, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your own inner knowing and
Yeah.
connection to source, however you see that.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
religion is great. It's a great way to connect with community. Uh, I was just had tea with someone, and she was saying, I really like the music and I like the community, but a spiritual practice is a very personal thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And
then
you,
that's what I love
I've
to teach.
always believed that too. I've always believed that spirituality is such a deeply personal evolution of, into who we are and understanding and how we connect. All the things are just so unique to each one of us.
Yeah.
And at some point, so you're a psychotherapist, but at some point you get this calling that, there's something different for you. And
Mhm.
that was a big shift for you to move into this new space.
Huge. Yeah, huge. Um, I worked with a lot of clients who suffered with anxiety
Mhm.
or were involved in trauma. And
Mhm.
when they would do their work and they would come out on the other side, 8 times, 9 times out of 10, I mean, so often they would have the spiritual awakening, right? This light bulb moment.
Yeah.
But that's also when they started feeling better. So it's like, well, I don't need psychotherapy anymore. I don't need therapy anymore. I'm feeling better. And they left. And I realized that's where I want to meet people at. That's where I want to start working with people, is on this spiritual journey, and how
Yeah.
to help them navigate that and ask the questions, and sit in the question, and ponder the possibilities. And I used to say on my website, if someone would say the right thing, I would have a secret door that would talk about, you want to talk about spirituality, you can come in the secret door. And just
Ah,
before my father passed, it was very chaotic. He was very sick, and it just really enhanced my own spiritual practice, because I thought, if life is this random and chaos, there's no point. And so it deepened my practice, and that's when I realized that the secret door had to become the main door.
yeah. And that's where you did the big shift. And
Yeah.
Spirit Quest is your body of work today. Tell us what Spirit Quest is.
Yeah, yeah. Everyday Spirit Quest was born about 3 years ago. I was involved in a mastermind group, and we were kind of dreaming, what if we could create something? What would we want to create? And I was thinking about this community, and uh, talking about the fact that we could have an everyday Spirit Quest in our own backyard. We
Right.
don't have to go to, the top of a mountain somewhere and have the spiritual experience. We can go outside, touch a tree, and have a spiritual experience, or we can go outside and look at the stars and have that spiritual experience. It doesn't have to be exotic or
Right.
expensive. And
Yeah.
so that's where it was born. And I've been working on it, nurturing it, and I launched it this year. It's a membership community called Everyday Spirit Quest. And we have teachings and we have gatherings, and I love, and spirituality is very unique to each individual,
Yeah.
but we're also wired for community.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
And so
Yeah.
that's what this
And
group.
this vision has been there for a long time. So it's really this true calling. It's like you stepped into this is the work that you were being called to do in this world.
Yeah.
How does it feel now that you've stepped into it?
I can take that deep breath and relax into it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what I'm feeling called now is to have more fun.
Yeah.
Um, because this year's been really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I have a healing arts center, and it was in a small church that closed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to find a new home, or what am I going to do with myself? And we have a small group that we decided to go together, and we were invited to another church. And
Yeah.
so in April and May, we were renovating these rooms in this new church, and then we moved in June. And along the way, I'm still trying to create Everyday Spirit Quest online. And I had this drive to, just to keep working and to keep working, and got it launched.
Yeah. And it's
And
growing rapidly, which is so fun to see how it's growing. It's like you put it out there and you open the doors and people were like, yes, they were ready. They were so ready for it.
so ready for it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the fear. It's like, can I keep offering what people need? And then it's like, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be guided, and they're going to guide me as well. I'm going to let the group somewhat lead. It's like, what do we need this month? And
Mm-hmm.
I have some ideas and things, but as a group, I'm a space holder. I hold the
Yeah.
container.
Right. Right. And there's such magic in that. There's definitely magic in that. And the fact that, I mean, I can just see the body of work that you've created over the years that all fits into this, right? It's like we all go down these journeys where we're living these experiences in our life,
Yeah.
and we're picking up experiences and knowledge and wisdom. And what you're doing is like this is all the things that you've worked for your whole life to get to this place.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I've always known that what I'm learning, I also want to teach. I've always felt that calling,
Yeah. Yeah.
and knowing when to hold on to it and sit with it, and then when to share it.
Right, right. And
Yeah.
there's definitely a gift in that, and being able to know, where are you still doing that inner work, and
Yeah.
when is it ready to be shared?
Yeah.
And not that the inner work ever stops, because it doesn't.
No, it's a lifelong journey,
It's a
right?
lifelong journey. But it's like that, like, that evolution of being able to share and to give. I love that.
But I think I'm going through experiences. We're all going through experiences to help others.
Right, right.
Whether that's
Especially
our
in this
call.
time right now. So you think about this time right now in our world, why is this so important?
Yeah. Um, because it's so chaotic.
Hmm.
And I think it really helps people to know that they're not alone, to be
Hmm.
able to come into community. I
Hmm.
also have a nice space. So at the new space, for those people who are here in the Denver area, we can meet in person, and
Hmm.
that's good as well. But your own spiritual practice can become your superpower.
Yeah.
Learning to be calm in the center of the storm. We don't have to get sucked in to everything that's happening. There's so much trauma and terrible things that are happening in the world. And if we focus on that, it can really lower our vibration. It can make us sick, even make us depressed.
Yeah.
And when we have our own spiritual practice and we ground in the knowing that
Right.
we are solid, we are grounded, and there is a higher purpose in all that we do, it helps us to walk each day
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and then navigate the path. What am I supposed to do today? What am I called to do today?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that you talk about wholeness and remembering our wholeness. How
Mhm.
can our listeners really reconnect with that truth in a world that often pulls us away from ourselves?
Yeah, that in and of itself is a journey, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, because we believe we're broken. We believe there's something wrong. We believe there's something missing. And the truth
And
is, we are
people have been told that their whole lives from different,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, from different communities. And
right.
part of that is so that we can be controlled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we are whole. We were born whole. We were born perfect. And that's part of the remembering, right? Is to
Yeah.
remember that I am a soul having this human experience. I am powerful. We are each very, very powerful. And it's taking the time to remember that. And that's where the journaling comes in, and that's where meditation comes in, mantras and chanting comes in, so that you can have this resonance within, and the knowing, and then you can walk in the world in that power, rather than believing in the lie that we've been told our
Mm-hmm.
whole lives.
Mm-hmm. And you talked a little bit about creativity and play in that healing process.
Mhm.
Expand on that a little bit. How's the creative expression really tied to accessing our deeper wisdom.
Yeah. It gets us into a different part of our brain.
Mm-hmm.
When we're worried, when we're thinking, when we're planning, it's in that part of the brain
Linear. Mm,
that is just, yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
right.
We cannot really problem solve during that. We really don't heal during that. We might be able to file it away during that time, but when we create, when we paint, when we sing, when we're in,
Mm,
when we are dancing, or when we're creating art, it filters out that part of the brain, and it's like it opens this part of us that we can tap into a completely different experience and a completely different process.
yeah.
And I find in my work, when I'm working with clients, it's in that linear part of my brain. And so when I'm creating my programs or I'm creating my art, I have to have a dedicated space of time so that I can allow my brain to be there for a while. Because I'm a little foggy when I come out of it. It's almost like, an ulterior, timeline, right? It's like an altered state.
Yeah. Yeah. When you really drop into
Mhm.
that wisdom within, it's a different space for sure.
Yeah. I love in meditation to journal, have a journal and a pen handy. And every day, every morning, it's like, Spirit, what do you want me to know today? What's the message that you have for me? And I just start free writing. And some of the messages that come is like kind of like when you were channeling, you know, your oracle deck.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
like, I didn't write that, you
Yeah.
know.
But it's there to be discovered. And
Yeah,
and
I'm a channel.
we've
Yeah,
got guides around us that can help let that come to life.
right. Yeah.
You
And
know,
we are never alone. Now you say talk about guides. We aren't alone. We feel disconnected and alone. And again, that's part of the lie
mhm,
to help us or to keep us in control. But when we realize, one, we're all connected, we're connected to all that is, and we have connections in the seen and the unseen realms.
yeah.
That's what makes us so powerful.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I think that, as entrepreneurs, as you and I are entrepreneurs, I mean, I know spirit has been a big part of my entrepreneurial journey over the last 16, 17 years.
Right.
And that was something that I had to come in and find myself. I would have never said that, my business wanted to be a spirit business.
Mhm.
And there was one time when I was sitting down and I was writing and I was journaling and I was like, what does my business want to be? And that was what came out. It was like, it wants to be a spirit business. And I'm like, what? And it
Yeah.
was a really scary place for me to go. I mean, that was a really scary place to claim.
Yeah.
And when I did finally claim it, it was like, oh, all the things that came along with it because I got aligned. And so
Yeah.
if we listen, for ourselves, for our businesses, all of that opens up in such a beautiful way.
Exactly. And I love, the community that seeks you out, right? That you call in
Hmm.
because you listen to that.
Yeah.
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 And we sometimes want to force things,
Yeah.
right? I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be this
Yeah.
and I'm supposed to do that.
Exactly.
And it doesn't work out,
No.
It's like swimming upstream. And I think that the art of releasing and
Hmm.
surrender,
Hmm.
you have to do it every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great question. It's like, what can some of our listeners do on a daily basis that helps them tap into that? Besides join your everyday spirit quest. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a really good one.
Come join me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in just a sec. But
Yeah.
give them a couple tips.
So the first and the easiest is breathing, right? When you
Hmm.
feel anxious or not
Hmm.
knowing what to do,
Hmm.
feel your feet on the floor, maybe put your hands on your heart and just take that deep centering breath.
And you have to notice that you even feel that anxiousness, right?
Right, exactly.
You have to
Exactly.
pause to even know that that's there. I know that was something that I had to learn to do.
Yeah. And so often we go through life and we're really not breathing. We
Hmm.
tend to hold our breath.
Hmm. Hmm.
Go outside once or twice a day.
Yes. Yes. That's a big one.
When it's nice, take your shoes and socks off, walk on the grass.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid about getting your feet dirty, but it's called earthing.
Yeah.
There is a powerful process when you do that. Go outside at night and look at the stars.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Okay. So tell everybody about what a Everyday Spirit Quest is.
So, Everyday Spirit Quest is a growing community of seekers and healers and empaths and sensitives looking for community and looking for guidance, looking for a variety of spiritual practices um, and gatherings, right? So we
Hmm.
come in together in community. I have a weekly oracle card of the week. So I draw an oracle card and some journal topics, and like here's your guidance for the week. And we have a monthly or twice monthly call. I follow the moon cycles. And so I also remind people when the new moon is, which is when we can create our intentions, and when the full moon is, which is a wonderful place or time to release
Right.
what no longer serves.
Yeah.
And in 1 month, we can, we have this full cycle. And I just remind people of what that cycle is. Some of the training, so like the first training I put out was spirituality. Um, Everyday spirituality is what I'm calling it. It's just an introduction to who we are and what we're doing there. But I'm really excited. In December, I teach every year a process called the 13 Holy Nights. And it's a wonderful way to walk through, the dark time of the year during the Christmas holidays, but it's bigger than that. It's much
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
There's several ways to go into the program. So I have a free version if you want to just come and check it out. There's no cost involved.
Hmm.
I also have right now, if you sign up for $22 a month, you get the first month free. And if you sign up for a year for a limited time for $222 a year, you get a one-on-one session with me.
Nice. Nice. And you do private coaching on top of that as well. So it's like there's lots of ways that people can really come in and experience the work that you're doing and delivering and really start to just you can choose all different levels and really think about how, and I think right now why I'm so excited about this work right now is that we are in a time where there's a lot of noise, and us being our most grounded self, our most connected self, is going to enable all of us to do our most important work.
Exactly.
And if we are getting we're getting the noise and letting the noise in all the time, we need now more than ever a space to really ground us, right? That keeps us grounded
Yeah.
in our own selves, grounded in our wholeness, grounded in our spirituality,
In
and
our
that's what
purpose.
in our purpose. Yeah. So all
Yeah.
of that.
And in our joy, because we're not here just to work. We're here to have
Right.
fun and we're here to
Exactly.
play and we're here to learn,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
when we slow down,
Yeah.
then we can do all of that.
Yeah.
We can stay connected.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people, if they have questions, to reach out to me. My website is insightandhealing.com. Get on my list, and I've got some wonderful programs that I'm creating for the coming year on top
Okay.
of Everyday Spirit Quest.
Say
And
say your website again.
insightandhealing.com.
Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so you've been part of the mastermind, my mastermind community all this year.
Yeah,
How's that supported you?
Cami, it's been amazing. And I'm going to cry a little bit because I first had the idea 3 years ago for Everyday Spirit Quest, but I have so many ideas sometimes. I get lost in them. And sometimes I think too many ideas keep us safe, and then I don't have to go out with anything, right? I don't have to go forward. But working with you and in the mastermind this year, it really gave me clarity. So it gave me clarity and that I'm so excited about in my pillars. So my pillars are the remember who you are, heal what gets in the way, and live your life with purpose and joy. And then I came up with my message to the world is live every day like it's a quest and discover your magic and your joy. So
Mhm.
from those statements, right, from that place, everything else is coming together.
Yeah,
I don't have
yeah,
to create it, it's coming to me because I have my foundation. And thank you for that, because
yeah.
you just helped me find the clarity in that. And then the community that you have, everyone is so encouraging of each other, and it's a wonderful community. And your
And
guidance is easy.
you
So,
had a most magical moment in the arena with the horses.
oh yeah, I had two times with the horses.
Yeah,
One,
that's true. You had two times, but there was one time that was really magical.
yeah, it was Thor. He opened his heart to me,
Yeah.
and I felt this opening, and it's hard to describe. I just felt this opening in this magical shift, and I knew this is where I'm supposed to go, and I can do it. The doubts left me, and it's not that it's not hard. Sometimes it's really hard, right? Especially when you do the tech stuff.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I love what I'm creating. I love the people that are coming to me. I love my community,
Hmm.
and I love being a part of all of this.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love what you're building. I think it's so needed in the world. And it's like I always say it's divine timing when things launch and release. And this launched in the perfect time in our world to serve the so many people.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. We are here because we chose to be here as
Right.
souls right
Right.
now. And so
Yeah.
we are here to live our purpose. We are here to live in this time and in this community. So
I believe that fully.
stay grounded and present.
Yeah. So that we can do the work that we're here to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. The final question I always close with is, what are three pearls of wisdom you'd like to leave with us today?
Three pearls of wisdom. I
Yes.
said one of them already. If you live every day like it's a quest,
Yeah.
you'll find your magic and your joy.
Yes.
Um, you don't have to do this alone. We are wired for community. We are
Hmm.
wired to
Yep.
be with others.
Hmm.
And the last one is that you are never alone, whether you're, in sitting with people or not. We have community in the seen and the unseen. And don't doubt that. Give it a
Mm.
chance. And one of the best ways to tap into that is by the free writing, the journaling. Spirit, what do you want me to know today?
Nice. I love that. Barb, thanks so much for joining me today and just
Thank
sharing
you.
your good wisdom, and congratulations on everything that you've built. It's magical. I know it's creating ripple effects already for the people around you. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. And thanks for your guidance on the journey. I really appreciate it.
Always, always, always.